All right, Will, we're back again post game talking about the Sounders, except obviously different story against the LA team. Let's first get started with your thoughts, and then we'll move on about everything else. Good, bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it.
Well, I'll say this first. The Sounders played the game they needed to play to have a chance. I didn't think that they would hold the Galaxy scoreless for so long because the Galaxy's attack is just so lethal. But I said this before, the Sounders are good at making the game ugly and giving them a chance and just making a very physical, battle tested match, low scoring. It went exactly as you would want to play, frustrated the hell out of the Galaxy attack all night long, and it didn't matter at the end. I think obviously Jovic was able to score. I think that Stefan Fry probably should have been able to save that. He should have swatted it a little harder. I know people say, well, yeah, it's easy to say that hindsight 2020, but that is not the Stefan Fry save we're used to him making. He should have, like, the save he made against Altidore was 10 times harder than that save. He guessed the spot perfectly. He should have been able to save that. And I knew that he was going to have a god tier like game if they were going to win this, and that would have been obviously that save was not a god tier
moment.
save. That was not a god tier moment. But one of the biggest things, Cheyenne, about what went wrong with that game is I feel like the Sounders got too cocky at the end. And what I mean by that is, if you notice, they parked the bus with like 20 minutes left. They're like, we're going to send this bitch into extra time. We're going to park the bus. They can't score. They're not going to be able to score on us even when we park the bus for sure. The problem is they did score on them when they parked the bus. And that put the Sounders on their heels. That was the worst thing that could happen. And I felt that way all night. If the Galaxy get one goal, the Sounders are cooked.
It's not even one goal. It's one chance. Because think about it. Galaxy didn't have any clear-cut chances throughout this game. But you knew, and I was talking about during my stream, is Sounders had the better chances for the most part. But the issue is, which is the theme all season long, is they don't have clinical fit, that high-end talent, you could say. The players that can win you the game. Maybe we have it. We had one little moment in the LAFC game, but we don't have it on a consistent basis. But Galaxy have not one, not two, not three, not four, but five players that can do that. And today it was Jovic. And that's what costs us the Sounders. You can play defense for as long as you want. You can make the game as stale dry as a saltine cracker, but at some point, you need to be able to score goals. You need to have high-end talent in multiple areas to do that. Defense is not going to always cut it. And we played just defense. And at some point, the Galaxy got one chance, which it fell to Jovic. That's what cost us.
Yeah, and I just think that the attack was abysmal today. It was the same thing it was there. It's been all season long. They've had chances, but nothing that came that bared any fruit. You talk about the Rusnak miss that he right into McCarthy's arms. The free kick that was close that he had, that was pretty, but McCarthy saved that as well. De La Vega had a better game this match in the beginning, but then kind of fell off kind of hard towards the halftime. So I think he kind of fell off pretty hard. Just not enough, man. The attack is the Achilles heel of this team. The defense is S tier. The attack is fucking D to F tier. It is F tier, actually. It's fucking F tier. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I think one player we got to talk about is Georgie Manungu. That guy is so good. He just gives you the will to the fact that guy is not the first name on the team sheet when you think of attackers for the team is Criminal from Brian. That guy needs to be one of the pivotal players for the Sounders going into next season. He needs to be one of the starters, the main guys. And it's like, I think the defense is good, but don't get me wrong. I think it has its frailties, which you can see because when you look at that goal, it's just sloppy from Alex Roldan, and then instantly, boom, Galaxy are on you like a panther. They're so quick to it. And there's like those boneheaded moments from Nuhu where he almost gets himself sent off. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that the defense is really good, but it's not perfect, I will say. But the thing is, will help balance that out to make the defense good if you have players that can score one or two more goals. So it's not all reliant on the defense because the defense is good. You got a good foundation there, but now what can you do for the offense? And it's fucking us over every single time. And I'm tired of it. We can't just keep shit housing games. That's all we were doing throughout it got so painful to watch. So painful to watch.
Well, also too, we got to point out how impressive it was that they had this defensive performance without their star Yamar. That was impressive. You and I both felt that if he didn't play, their chances of winning this game dwindled even to an even lower margin, and it didn't make any difference. I don't think that if Yamar played, the game would have been any different. I think that they played as well as you possibly could, and it just was not good enough. Now, I want to talk about the future here in a little bit, but just Georgie had a great game. I think Nuhu had a good game. I think Roldan had a good game. They frustrated the hell out of Peck and Paintsel all game long. And I know that there's going to be some fans that are hypercritical of their performance, but they didn't. Peck didn't get on the score sheet. Paintsel didn't get on the score sheet. Pooj didn't get on the score sheet. The only person was Joveljic late in the game. And you have to give them credit for that. They did a hell of a job shutting those guys down and taking the game away from them. And you could see after the Galaxy scored that first goal, did you see how much more confident the Galaxy were playing and how they were having fun?
Second.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So things really opened up for them and they played completely different.
Yeah.
I think the attack was the only bad thing about this game. I think everybody else played good enough to win. It's just when Jordan Morris is your starting striker in 2024, you're in trouble. It's just a fact. I'm not a Jordan Morris hater. I like Jordan Morris. I was happy when he came to MLS in 2016 instead of going to Germany when Jurgen Klinsmann fucking was like, you better go, you son of a bitch. Like, I like Jordan Morris. He just can't be your starting striker in 2024. He can't be.
And not even 2025. FIFA Club
not 2025. Hell, not 2023, not 2023, not 2022. Honestly, like he shouldn't have been the striker the last couple of years. And they had old man River Ruidiaz literally just being ineffective in a fucking wheelchair the last couple of years.
The offense is just, there needs to be such a big revamp. And let's just talk about it. I think this is the perfect time to, when you look at this team, obviously we'll do a proper video. I'll do a proper video going through all of it. But like, what are the main things Sounders need to look at? Funnily enough, the Club World Cup draws this week, which I'll be live for. So if you guys want to tune in for that, we'll be live at 9:45 a.m. this Thursday on the 5th. What do you want to see from the Sounders? What is the Christmas gift all these Sounders fans need? If you were to say like 3 players that just need to go or shouldn't be renewed, whatever, they just sold, not renewed, whatever. And then what are like 1 or 2 positions or 3 positions we need to really look at?
Well, I want to see Georgie play next year. I want to see how much he can further develop, right? So if he plays and you need a new striker, that's guaranteed. You need a new striker. Jordan Morris would probably kick over to left side midfielder, right?
But do you think how does Morris play over Della Vega and Georgie, or like it's just like it wasn't?
You can't. That's my point. Like Jordan Morris at $1.5 million isn't worth it to pay, and he's not. I don't want to see him play anymore. He's tapped out. If anything, he's regressing at this point. So I think Morris. They got to move off of Morris. They don't need to renew Rusnak. They need to get a true number 10. So if they move off Rusnak and Ruidiaz, obviously is out of contract, they're gonna have 2 DP spots open. They could sign a number 10. They could sign a number 9. That would change this team drastically. If they had a number 10 tonight, like a competent number 10, like think of a prime Nico Lodeiro, right? Nico Lodeiro is a Seattle Sounders legend. We all know that. But in today's MLS, that is like the standard bare minimum quality player you have to be a decent functioning team. Rusnak is not doing that. If you had a prime Rusnak, or excuse me, prime Lodeiro and a competent striker, I think tonight's result would be different.
That's how close Seattle are to like being a cup. It just takes just that bit more of an ambition to stop sticking with these same fucking dudes. And like, I understand Rusnak statistically was one of the Sounders' best players, but he never showed up in any big games. None of them. The only time Rusnak showed up was when there was a center back in goal.
He's not good enough. He's not good enough. Now, if he wants to take a pay cut and maybe become like a mid-tier TAM player, maybe, but I think it's time just to probably move on because he's 30 years old.
Cut your losses.
He's 30 years old. He's not lived up to the DP tag. And you know what? He did help you win a Champions League. But honestly, if you guys had saved that DP spot for a Nico Ladero true replacement, I think you still would have won the Champions League, right? Or someone that could play in that spot, whatever. Just the heir to Nico Ladero, if you'd signed someone like that, you still would have won. They fucked up with that. Rusnak, I don't think you can look at his time as a Seattle Sounders player and think, man, this was a fucking knock out of the park success. Compare him to Ladero. Both DPs, how would you compare their time in Seattle? They're not even close. They're not even close. Rusnak only has that Champions League trophy. That's all he has. He has no MLS Cup Finals appearances. He has no MLS Cup Finals wins. I think they got to move off and get someone who's young. But here's the thing, and I said this on my stream. We don't know what type of player Greg Weibel likes. We don't know if he prefers a South American player. Does he prefer the European player? What age range? Does he like the younger player with more potential? Does he like the more polished player that's a finished product? I don't know. Pedro de la Vega, and I know, was probably on the short list that Garth Lagerwey left behind that Greg Weibel got a peep at. I don't think that's a player that he scouted. I think that's a player that he already knew about from the previous regime.
I don't know what Craig Weibel. He hasn't hit one good signing, bro. He hasn't hit one fucking good signing.
Not one. And he didn't even have one signing in the summer. Think about that. If it was, okay, the MLS is rapidly evolving. You and I know this. We've been following the league for a long time, right? Roldan and Morris cannot be paid $1.5 million. And the crazy part is they wanted DP deals before they took that money. If Seattle had given them that, they would have been out of their fucking mind. But they're not worth $1.5 million either. If you don't think Rusnak is worth $1.5 million, then there's no way in fuck you think Morris or Roldan is worth $1.5 million. Christian Roldan is not worth $1.5 million. As a central defensive midfielder, he is not worth $1.5 million. And then João Paulo's, I think he's making a little bit over $1 million. They just have so much dead weight on this salary budget. They've got to cut out. They got to trim the fat.
But Weibel's excuse is we don't have money. I can't get rid of any of these players on this team, bro. He's fucking killing me, man. He's killing me.
Maybe that's why Garth Lagerwey got the hell out of town, man. He saw the writing on the wall and just said, "Fuck this, dude. I'm going to Atlanta." But to be fair, Garth Lagerwey has been trying to leave Seattle for years. I don't know if even you knew this. He was dangerously close to taking the Chicago Fire job 3 years ago, but couldn't work it out with the owner, so he decided to pass up on it for another opportunity down the road. So he's been trying to leave Seattle for years. So what is that? I mean, that might tell you something about the ownership. Andrew, was it Hanauer or whatever? I don't know what the hell I don't know what his commitment level is to this team. But this Seattle, I cannot believe that this Sounders team spends less in 2024 than they did in 2013. Can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. The ambition is just gone. But the thing is, too, is like you can see that there's potential with like certain areas in this team that they could be like a consistent contender. And I think the most worrisome point of all of this is Sounders are going to have the golden ticket opportunity of playing in the an expanded FIFA Club World Cup, being one of two MLS representatives. And their team is just so bad. Like, I think they would be lucky to just score a goal in the tournament. Like, Inter Miami at least have a team built where we could at least see them win a game. I'm not saying they're going to make it out of the group or anything like that, but it's like night and day different between the two squads.
It is night and day difference. In the gap, you know what Miami's going to do this offseason? They're going to get 2 new center backs. They're going to get probably a new winger. They're going to get another midfielder, and their team's already better than the Sounders. I mean, it is. It's better. It's a better team. So they're going to make adjustments. It just feels like Greg Weibel is just his head spinning. Like he don't even know what to think. He's like caught off guard, deer in headlights, whatever analogy you want to use, whatever, or saying he doesn't know what the hell's going on. I don't trust him to build this team into contender, but that's the sad part is this team is close, just 3 pieces away from being back to the way they used to be. Now, is Brian going to take the reins and say, look, man, we need this. We can't win unless we get this. I don't know Brian's personality well enough to know if he's that kind of guy, but Now, I don't know if you know this either, but Schmetzer and Garth Lagerwey did not get along. That's another thing that played in why he was trying to leave. They did not like each other on a work from a work relationship standpoint. They did not like each other. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't know who would be at fault at that point, but I haven't seen enough. I think it's very concerning. And we've seen with the Galaxy. Galaxy didn't make the playoffs last year. They signed 2 players. They signed Paintsel and Peck, 2 players on the attack, and it changed their whole fucking team. Make it to the MLS Cup final in 1 year. Didn't need a year to adjust. Didn't need anything. Literally signed 2 dudes, made it to the MLS Cup final. If you guys sign a number 10 and a 9, why couldn't that be you?
And let go of Deadwood, let go of your emotions of like Jordan Morris, Albert Rusnak, I don't know, Christian Roldan, whoever. Make some money and just make some change. I want to add that to it too.
Well, George, I'm curious if any of these. I'll ask you this: do you think any of these guys who maybe have bad contracts have some trade value that they could just get them off the books? Like,
I
you
think you
Jordan
could sell
Morris?
Jordan. I think you could sell him. There's surely one MLS team that would sucker into buying him. He just had one of his best years. The proof is in the pudding.
That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe like a San Jose or just a team. Maybe Chicago Fire would take him. Maybe go reconnect with Greg Berhalter. Maybe or maybe Roldan, because the Fire are already trying to sign Aaron Long from LAFC. So maybe he's going to have the
ragtag group together.
The ragtag, the B-listers, man. The C-listers are back, man. C-listers are back in MLS. Who knows? That could. I mean, if they could just get his salary off the books. And
if you get multiple salaries off, not even just Jordan, multiple.
For a bag of chips, not even any Gam or Tam, just a bag of fucking chips. You pick the flavor. You don't even get to chance. You don't even have to pick what. Seattle doesn't even have to tell them what flavor they want. They can pick the flavor. Just a bag of chips for one of these dudes, and they would be. It would be perfect.
It opens up so many doors.
That would instantly relieve $3 million for them. $3 million if they got rid of Roldan and Morris, and if they get rid of Rusnak, that's $4.5 million. $4.7 million if they get rid of all 3 of those dudes.
Dude, show some ambition. Just show some drive. Get rid of Liao Chu. Get rid of one of your outside backs and Alex or Nuhu. You can make such good money. Dude, think about it. Nuhu and Alex are international players for El Salvador and Cameroon. Surely they have a good enough value that you could turn that around and invest into your attack. You have younger players that in the wings of Cody Baker or Reed Baker Whiting, who are very well touted players, especially Reed Baker Whiting, that could take that mantle, let go of João Paulo, maybe sell Christian Roldan, sell Jordan Morris, let go of Rusnak, let go of Rui Diaz. You have so much.
That's like $9 million right there, dude. I mean, it's not how it equivalates because of the DP and stuff. Like it's probably closer to like maybe around $5 million in resources, but they could free up $5 million in dead weight. It's just crazy how bad their TAM players are. Now João Paulo, he's out of contract, right? He's not going to be back, is he?
We can quickly pull this up. I'll pull up here. Let's look at Sounders players contracts. I've looked at this multiple times, and I'll probably have a post expiring in 2024. Here you go. Let's share this on the screen for everybody. Bam, ba bang, bada bang, bada boom. We're working on the fly here, folks. Bang. Okay, let's increase the size. Bang, look at that. That shit's enlarged. Liao Chu, gone. Rusnak, gone. Yamar.
Resign, have to.
Do everything you can. Club option 1 year. Use it.
Pick it up. I have to pick it up.
Diaz, gone. João Paulo, gone. Nathan, fuck off. He's on way too much money. Gone. Reed, keep. Paul, keep. Dylan, keep. John Bell, keep. Berdilio, keep. I don't give a fuck about these guys. But right here, Chu, Rusnak, Rui Diaz, all you gotta do is just say no. That's it. You don't even gotta talk to him again or just say no. Bye.
Go up for me for a second. Go up a little bit to like where you can filter out things. Go to 2025. I'm just curious because this matters. I want to see if Morris and Roldan only have 1 year left.
No.
Oh my God.
2026.
Go 2026. Morris signed in 2027? Dude, no way.
Yeah.
Dude, what are they thinking, man? So, dude, there's nobody Dude, think about this. Jordan Morris has the same contract linked as fucking Pedro de la Vega. That's insane. And so does Christian Roldan. The problem is it's going to be so hard to move off them because you're telling another team you have to keep these guys on your roster for 3 fucking years. 3 fucking years, dude. That's crazy. Morris and Roldan you're taking on $1.5 million for 3 fucking years. You know what your best bet is, right? You're going to have to do something that's going to hurt really bad, and your team seems cheap now, so I don't think they're going to do it. They're probably going to have to buy one of these dudes out. They're going to have to just buy them out. You get one buyout a season, buy them out, get rid of and it doesn't count any towards the cap. You're going to have to buy one of them out, and you're going to have to probably sucker some team into taking Jordan Morris and fucking dap him up and just be like glaze him, say, dude, he's so fucking good. And like, he'll sell you so many kits, but you're going to have to dap him up, make the team feel good about him, and then probably offer to cover half his salary. Now, is it worth keeping Jordan Morris on your team for $1.5 million, or is it worth keeping him off your team for $750K? Which one is it worth? Which one do you think is more valuable to you as a team?
Because then you can at least play someone in those spots, like develop someone else. Thing is, by 2027, bro, Jordan Morris is going to be like 35 years old. You're joking me right now. Like, why would we want him at that point?
You wouldn't want him at that point. It's
But
not
the
good,
thing
man.
is exactly, we ain't buying them out. That's the problem. Is there's no way in hell this club would do that, because so many fans are just gonna riot over that.
I agree. No, I think that's definitely that's not likely to happen. But the future.
But isn't that so frustrating though? Like, you're a neutral, and don't you think it's just so frustrating?
Well, I think it's bad for your premier teams in the league to just kind of just regresses from their ambitions, and you want your best teams to be consistently good and try to at least fucking do something, and they're not doing that. So yeah, it's very frustrating because we need Seattle, LA Galaxy, LAFC, Timbers, etc. not to win, but to try to win, to be the best version of themselves for the league. It helps bring the best out of everybody. But I'll be honest with you, I think the fall off of the Timbers. And the Timbers did make the playoffs, but the fall off has been hard. There was that run where it was either the Timbers or the Sounders making it to the Cup every year for like 6 years. I think the Timbers falling off has really hurt the Sounders' ambitions because they don't really have. They're not fending off the Timbers anymore. The Timbers are just bad, so there's not a lot of pressure on them like there used to be.
But the thing is, too, Timbers still have the Sounders number, even how bad they've been.
They do, but like not where it really matters, right? The tournaments. Like the Sounders made it to the final. So if the Timbers get back to like the Diego Valeri days and they're competing in the playoffs and playing good ball, I think that's going to put the Sounders on notice. I mean, just think about it, man. I think the Sounders have just been completely complacent with all the success they've had the last 10 years. They feel it's like they don't even know what to do with themselves anymore. It's like it's went, and it is what it is this time. They have all these players in MLS. Most of these and most teams in MLS don't have these players on the team for this long, and that's exactly what the Sounders have done, is kept all these core players for so many fucking years. Roldan has played for this team for 8 years. Jordan Morris has played for this team for 8 years. Stephen Fry. It's the Stephen part fucks me up. Stephen Fry has played on this team for 10 years, 11 years. These core Yaymar's 5 years now, 4 years.
Yeah.
These players have been in place for so long. They have to get new blood in here or it's going to fuck the team up. Every team that wins MLS gets a couple new pieces to re-energize the team. The only one they got is De La Vega, and he just isn't good enough.
I think that's the best way to end it.
It's the best way to end it on a sad note for the Sounders fans.
And I think just to add on to your point is adding those pieces, it just gets rid of that complacency and that stagnation of just like the players already know, like, I've been here for 5, 6, 7 years. I'm not going to change. No one else is coming in, nothing to worry about. So I know I could be a bum and it doesn't really matter. There's complacency.
What serious team doesn't make a signing all summer? Not even one. What team does that? What excuse do you have? I mean, not one signing. You get creative. You do kickbacks. There's all kinds of ways you do it. You could do it to where the salary is primarily dedicated to next season. There's all kinds of things they could have done, and they didn't do a damn thing.
Yep.
And that is the reason why the Sounders lost.
Yeah, it's because the shortcomings, man. It just shows Sounders could be so close and they could be like legitimate, like top tier contenders instead of always being like a team that's like there's shit periods, then they go through good patches and this and that. It's like just be a good team, man. And the thing is, this playoff run, it like don't get me wrong, like the LAFC game was great, like it was cool, but it's like we celebrated that like as if we won MLS Cup, like, and like every single game we played, it was just so shit, bro.
It always is, man. I'm telling you. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll be back on at some point, probably when the new season starts up or
Yeah.
during the off season. But Sounders are on the clock, man. They Schmetzer signed a 2-year extension. He'll be here at least until 2026. See what happens.
Boys and girls, if you're watching this live, big shout out to you. Please smash the like button on this live. This was a instant live reaction. Again, shout out to Will. He'll be live for the MLS Cup final. I'm probably not doing any more watch alongs. This is the end for me. So make sure to go subscribe to his channel if you want to be a part of another watch along for the MLS Cup final. I will probably do like a good like post-mortem video talking about the end of the season. I have plenty of great stuff planned out for this off season. And yeah, it's the end of the season. I think most Sounders fans wouldn't have thought we would get to this point, but we did. And I just think the most important part is we need to be ambitious. This needs to be a big offseason, not one signing, not two signings. I need to see at least 3 big signings and a couple of outgoing transfers for sure. Boys and girls, if you're watching this post stream, make sure to comment your thoughts. You agree with some of the stuff we talk about, disagree with some of the stuff we talk about. Comment down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. But boys and girls, I hope you'll have a lovely day.